I'm about to reveal something so potent it might feel dangerous, because it challenges everything we've been told about attraction, confidence, and feminine power. And it begins not with a makeover, not with social media tricks, not with manipulation or effort, but with my hormones. Yes, the invisible architects of mood, energy, desire, and presence. Because 30 days ago, I was exhausted, unpredictable, emotionally erratic, constantly chasing validation I didn't even know I needed. And I thought the problem was external, that I just needed the right man, the right job, the right attention, when in reality, the problem was entirely internal. My body, my chemistry, my cycles were sabotaging my confidence, my allure, my very presence. And the moment I recognized this, the transformation began. Subtle at first, a calm in my mind, a steadiness in my energy, a clarity in my gaze, but within days, the world began responding differently. Men leaned in, women observed, colleagues noticed, strangers paused, because humans mirror energy before they mirror words. And a woman whose internal system is regulated becomes magnetic, not because she is trying, but because she has stopped leaking energy, stopped negotiating for attention, stopped performing for desire. And when you understand this, when you see how subtle, deliberate internal work can create massive external influence, you realize that your body is your ultimate tool, your invisible weapon, your secret power. And as I experimented with sleep, nutrition, sunlight exposure, movement, and mindful breaths, I began to notice profound changes. Clarity sharpened, mood stabilized, presence intensified, and the confidence that emerged was dangerous, not aggressive, not loud, but anchored, sovereign, undeniable, the kind of confidence that makes rooms shift, that bends conversations toward you, that makes men seek your attention without even realizing why. And women lean closer, curious, intrigued, because a regulated, self-led energy is rare, irresistible, unforgettable. And if this is hitting you, comment your biggest takeaway, subscribe, turn on notifications, because what comes next will show you how to turn this invisible alignment into unstoppable feminine power, the kind that commands respect, attention, and desire effortlessly. By the second week, the changes became visible in subtle, undeniable ways. Posture more deliberate, gestures measured, speech slower, richer, intentional. And this is where philosophy, psychology, and feminine power intersect. Because as Aristotle said, excellence is not an act but a habit, and regulating your internal chemistry is the ultimate habit, shaping thought, mood, and presence simultaneously. And as I aligned my cycles, honored hunger cues, observed energy fluctuations, and maintained emotional boundaries, I noticed a shift in dynamics. Men responded differently, not because I pursued them, not because I tried, but because my presence demanded focus. And women observed differently, curious, absorbing subtle energy cues, because humans are wired to notice alignment, consistency, and confidence long before they notice beauty, clothing, or charm. And this is the dangerous part. Once you are internally aligned, you no longer chase, you no longer perform, you no longer negotiate for attention, because your energy sets the standard. And the subtle dominance emerges naturally, not coercion, not control, but quiet insistence on your own rhythms, presence, and boundaries, and everything reorganizes around you. Interactions, attention, attraction, admiration. And if you are feeling this now, comment your biggest takeaway, subscribe, turn on notifications, because awareness anchors power, and power expressed authentically shifts reality without effort, without drama, without manipulation. And by maintaining these internal standards, I began to notice men who once ignored me leaning in, conversations deepening effortlessly, and the women around me admiring quietly, not envious, but intrigued, because they could sense the energy that is aligned, sovereign, magnetic, and unforgettable. By day 30, the transformation was undeniable. I moved through spaces with quiet authority, presence electrifying yet calm. Interactions deepened naturally. Men appeared attentive, focused, drawn without effort, and women leaned closer, curious, absorbing the subtle energy of alignment. Because confidence anchored in internal regulation is more persuasive than beauty, more lasting than charm, more seductive than effort. And philosophically, this is where true feminine power manifests. You stop negotiating for presence and attention and start commanding it. Effortlessly, inevitably, memorably, because the body communicates stability, safety, and value without words, and desire, respect, and admiration follow naturally. And I want you to understand this deeply. A woman who heals her hormones, aligns her energy, and honors her cycles becomes dangerous, not threatening, but in the sense that she cannot be ignored, undervalued, or underestimated, because alignment is inherently magnetic. And once you embody it, the world responds unconsciously, instinctively, irresistibly. And if you are listening, feeling this, comment "I needed this" below. Subscribe, turn on notifications, rewatch this video, integrate these practices, honor your body, your cycles, your energy, because this is not fleeting. This is sustainable, transformational, and once fully embodied, it renders you unstoppable, unforgettable, and entirely sovereign. And here's the truth that most women never hear. The subtle secret that turns effort into effortless magnetism. When your hormones are balanced, when your sleep, nutrition, movement, and emotional rhythms are in harmony, you stop showing up fragmented, you stop chasing validation, and you stop performing for attention, because your body finally speaks a language that cannot be ignored: clarity, stability, and presence. And that is where confidence becomes truly dangerous, because it doesn't ask for permission, it doesn't negotiate, it simply exists. And existence at that level is magnetic, addictive, unforgettable, and every interaction becomes a reflection of that energy, not a negotiation of desire. And you feel it in subtle ways. The way strangers glance longer, the way colleagues listen more attentively, the way men lean in without realizing why, drawn instinctively to presence, to alignment, to coherence. And this is not magic. It's biology, psychology, and energy working together. Because humans respond to nervous system cues long before they respond to words or appearances. And a woman whose internal system is regulated does not have to demand respect or desire it, is inevitable, automatic, undeniable. And every single person around her unconsciously mirrors this harmony, which is seductive, intoxicating, unforgettable, and quietly dominant, because it asserts standards without aggression, authority without loudness, and sovereignty without effort. And this is the ultimate feminine hack. You don't need to perform, prove, or manipulate, because your alignment does the work for you. And once you feel it, imagine the possibilities. Imagine the way your presence shifts environments, conversations, and connections. And that is when true confidence is born. What shocked me most wasn't how others responded, but how I responded to myself. Because alignment gave me clarity, calm, and self-trust. And once I learned to honor my internal cues, fatigue, energy cycles, emotions, I stopped misreading situations, stopped overcomplicating interactions, stopped romanticizing inconsistency. And suddenly, my energy became coherent, intentional, magnetic. And humans are hardwired to notice that kind of energy. Subtle yet compelling, irresistible because it cannot be replicated. It cannot be faked. It cannot be manipulated. And the beauty of this is that you do not chase. You do not perform. You do not negotiate for attention. Because your energy sets the standard. And subtle dominance emerges naturally, quietly, effortlessly, because it is anchored in self-mastery rather than external validation. And once you understand this, everything reorganizes around you. How people treat you, how they observe you, how they respond, because presence is magnetic, and magnetic energy is unforgettable. And I want you to feel that pull now, imagining the way your energy could shift the dynamics around you. Because when your body, mind, and energy are aligned, the world does not just notice, it adapts. It responds. It conforms to the presence of a woman who is fully sovereign, fully regulated, fully herself. And that is dangerous, intoxicating, irresistible, and utterly transformative. And once you embrace this truth, everything changes. Interactions, attention, desire, attraction, respect, all of it flows naturally toward you. Because humans cannot ignore alignment, coherence, and presence. By the end of 30 days, the transformation was undeniable. I moved through rooms with quiet authority, presence electrifying yet calm. Conversations deepened without effort. Men leaned in instinctively. Women observed with curiosity. Energy subtly magnetic. Interactions naturally shifting. Attention flowing without negotiation. And this is the ultimate feminine mastery. To heal internally. To regulate hormones. To align energy. To honor cycles. To curate presence. And in doing so, to command attention, desire, and respect without force, without effort, without chasing. And the philosophical elegance of it is profound. True power begins inside, within your body, your cycles, your energy. And when that is synchronized, the external world responds automatically, unconsciously, irresistibly. And if you are hearing this, feeling it, I want you to comment, I needed this below. Subscribe, turn on notifications, rewatch this video, integrate these practices, because the kind of confidence that comes from hormonal alignment, energy regulation, and presence is not fleeting. It is permanent, transformative, and unforgettable. And once fully embodied, you move through life not just more confident, more magnetic, more attractive, but inevitably more sovereign, unstoppable, and entirely unforgettable. And that is the kind of feminine power that changes the way the world interacts with you, the way men respond to you, the way women observe you, the way life rearranges itself to match your alignment. And once you step fully into it, nothing, no circumstance, no opinion, no man, no chaos, can diminish your presence or your value again. Because alignment is not optional. It is the foundation of every irresistible, unforgettable, high-value woman. And that foundation begins with you. Here, now, by choosing to honor your body, your energy, and your rhythms.